Here are 12 ways to promote yourself on Reddit, plus you will discover a free stealthy tool that makes promoting yourself on Reddit quick and easy. Welcome to ProfitCopilot.com. My name is Mick Meaney, and if you are serious about generating traffic, then you need to go to ProfitCopilot.com/traffic and get my free 4-day course. Okay, so let's take a look at the stats of Reddit so you can make up your own mind about whether this is the right traffic source for you. Now we can see that it's got a global rank of 18, country rank United States of 13, and a category rank of 5. So Reddit really is one of the biggest, most powerful traffic sources on the planet. And if we take a look at the total visits, well, it's approaching 2 billion visits every single month. And we can see that it is pretty much consistent right across the board. So where is all this traffic coming from? Well, it's pretty much global, but we can see that 47%, almost 50% really, comes from the United States, 7% from the UK, then Canada, Australia, and Germany, and then others make up 30% of the traffic. So this is incredibly valuable traffic to have, especially if you're doing CPM or lead gen. Now, the great thing about Reddit is it is predominantly savvy people who are aware of marketing and they are buyers. So it's a great audience to get yourself in front of. But that does, of course, mean we have to be pretty strategic about how we promote ourselves on Reddit, because that audience is savvy to marketers. Well, we're going to have to be a little bit clever about how we do things. Okay, so this is Reddit. If you're not familiar with it, it's made up of probably millions by now. So millions of subreddits. These are niche relevant groups dedicated to specific topics. And on each of these subreddits, people post content. It's user-generated content, so that means you can post content on there too. And then the community will be able to upvote or downvote specific posts. For example, this one here has got 213 upvotes. We can't see how many downvotes it's got. But the aim of the game is really to get the most upvotes, because that will float your content to the top of these subreddits. So for example, if we take a look at the Manchester subreddit, then we're going to see that the stuff floating to the top tends to have a lot of engagement. So that's upvotes and comments. Now, if this was of interest to you and your business, then you might want to create a post here. So to do that, click the create post and then choose what type of content you want to post. Now, I'm going to encourage you to avoid using links. We're going to speak about links in a couple of seconds. But really, for the moment, you really want to be focused on contributing enormous value to these communities, because that's going to be beneficial in the long run. One really important thing to note here is the About Community section. So this is going to tell you the number of members on each subreddit, and this is how many are online right now. So for example, if we look at the search Reddit feature here, if we type in something relevant to a sub niche, perhaps keto diet, and we find some communities based on that niche, if we click down here, there we can see that this one has got over 3 million members and 800 online right now. However, bigger doesn't always mean better. I'm going to speak about that in a bit more detail in a couple of minutes. So the first thing that I really want you to do here is create multiple accounts. That's tip number 1. So instead of just relying on one account, I want you to have at least one personal account, a couple of marketing accounts, and then a couple of backups as well. Because chances are, if you get this wrong, then your account could get deleted. So if you have an existing account, what I want you to do is separate that from any experiments that we run today. So create multiple accounts, keep it separate from your other accounts, and have backups. That's really important because I want to give you the absolute best chance of success here. Because, well, tip number 2, we're not going to promote anything until we have a decent level of karma, and I'll explain how to get that in a minute. But Redditors, and particularly moderators on Reddit, don't stand for promotion. So we're not going to go in heavy here. We're not going to come out hot and start promoting stuff. We're going to warm things up slowly over time. That's really important. And when I've mentioned Reddit before in my videos, within a couple of days, I usually have at least one person come back to me and say it's not working. My account keeps getting banned. And that is because you're trying to do too much too soon. So we need to slow it down. We're going for the long game here. And listen, tip number 3, if you really want to just promote stuff, then go to Shameless Plug. So it's Shameless Plug. There's a subreddit dedicated to people who just want to promote stuff. So there's already 50,000 members there, 269 of them online right now. And that will allow you to promote whatever you like to your heart's content. So that's Shameless Plug. In fact, we've got another one I can give you. Let me show you that one. So that's called Promote. If we go to that subreddit, you're going to get access to around 37,000 members. 181 of them are online right now. So that's tip number 3. If you just want to promote stuff, go to those subreddits. For the rest of you guys who want to do this for real and take things seriously, do not start really promoting stuff until you get a link karma of around 100 and a comment karma of around 1,000. Now, that's not as difficult as it sounds. So tip number 4, make sure you have reached 100 link karma and 1,000 comment karma before you start promoting. So tip number 5, to achieve that, a good way to do it could be to go to the Ask Reddit subreddit. This is one of the biggest communities on here. It's got 37 million members, 120,000 online right now. So what I want you to do here in order to build up your karma is just start posting on rising submissions here. So here we can see hot, new, top. What I want you to do is go to new, take a look at the ones that are gaining some traction. So what we want to find is ones that have got comments, at least a comment or 2. So here we can see people are engaging with this, that 1, 2, and then we want to start leaving comments on these ones. That's going to help boost your karma, because when you have karma, then you can kind of get away with a bit more on Reddit. So tip number 5, go to Ask Reddit and start commenting on rising submissions. And tip number 6, really important one here, absolutely do not upvote your own comments. I know I suggested creating multiple accounts, but we're not going to use them to try and game the system. And I mean, even with a VPN, we're not going to comment, we're not going to upvote, we're not going to mess with our accounts. So when you post a comment under one account, do not be tempted to log into a separate account and then upvote it. Reddit has got systems in place to detect that type of activity, even with a VPN. So don't do it. Trust me, I've felt the brunt of trying to game the system before, and I've lost accounts. So I don't want that to happen to you. Okay, tip number 7, I want you to delete your downvoted comments. Okay, so downvoted comments are going to give you negative karma. You don't want that. So just go ahead, delete those comments that are working against you, and no one's going to care. No one's going to keep track of you. The only thing that's really keeping track of you is an algorithm that's working in the background. So go ahead, delete those comments that are producing negative karma. We want positive karma here. I want you to get to that 1,000 threshold as quickly as possible. Okay, tip number 8. We briefly touched upon this a few minutes ago, but let's go into a little bit more detail. We have to choose the right subreddits to post on. Now that sounds obvious, but I'm going to give you a couple of little tips here. So let's say we're interested in health. Let's drill down into a sub niche and go with keto diet, that kind of thing. And then go to communities like we did before. Now here, you're going to be tempted to go for the biggest keto diet in town, which is this one, which has got 3 million members. We've already looked at this, but what I want you to do here is, instead of focusing just on this massive subreddit, I want you to pay attention to this sidebar. This is really important. I want you to scroll down, and I want you to pay attention to the rules on every single subreddit you start posting on, and follow these rules. Listen, I'm going to give you like a little workaround that's probably going to help you drive traffic, and it kind of helps you sidestep some of the rules here. But coming straight out the gate, you want to absolutely follow these rules, especially with a brand new account. Now, the second thing I want to show you here is once you read the rules and the community guidelines, go down to related subs. This is going to give you access to smaller subreddits. Now, this could be a better option for you. It's going to be easier for you to stand out on these smaller subreddits. So why we would want to do that? So for example, we can see that Keto Gains has got over 200,000 members, 34 online right now, which is still a really good number, and all of this traffic is free, remember. So it makes sense to dive into some of these smaller subreddits, deliver value, build your reputation, get known as someone who is trustworthy, has good stuff to share. And that is playing the long game. Okay, tip number 9. What I'd like you to do is consider posting an AMA. That stands for Ask Me Anything. So if we go to AMA, this again is an enormous subreddit. What this does is it invites people who have experience, expertise, or interesting stories to share. Welcome the community here to ask them anything. Now, this is a good way to position yourself as an expert in your field. As an expert in your field. Now, the best way to go about doing this is to message the mods. You want to send them a message, tell them what your idea is, get their support. This is really important. However, you got to be clever with this, because you are going to get asked some awkward questions. Sometimes you will get questions that will not be relevant to what you want to talk about, and you're going to have to deal with them. Now, a really good example of how to do it wrong is to take a look at what Woody Harrelson has done. Now, this was posted many years ago, but it still gets referenced all the time. And I've just noticed I took you to the wrong subreddit here. We went to AMA instead of IMAA. So, apologies for that. Okay, so when you're here, do take a search for the Woody Harrelson AMA, and it is hilarious, but it's a fantastic lesson on how not to promote yourself on Reddit, because what happened here was he was all about promoting his new film, and in fact, It probably wasn't even Woody Harrelson responding to the questions. It was most likely one of his PR team. And Redditors sniffed that out, and then they exposed it, and they just turned it into, well, I'm going to allow you to make up your own opinion about this AMA, but I want you to learn from this, because there are valuable lessons in here. So for your benefit, what I encourage you to do is respond to every question if you can, even the ones that are uncomfortable to deal with, and approach this with humor. Now, tip number 10, really important one. This is kind of stealthy, I guess. So let's go back to Keto, because I want to show you how to do this. So it doesn't really matter what subreddit we're gonna post on. So if we create a new post, and here we want to tell maybe a story, or we want to have some useful information here, stats or a news story, something that's going to really trigger interest on this subreddit, we can put in a bit of copy here. So for example, let's say we want to warn people about keto diet side effects. So here we would paste in maybe a bit of copy, some content there warning people about benefits. Now, a good strategy here is to go ahead and post that as is. And that's going to help build your karma. And you'll notice that we're not linking out to anything. However, Redditors want you to cite your sources. So what we could do is, instead of posting it straight away, we could say something like, we'll come back later and add sources. Something like that, and then post it. Go ahead and post that. And yeah, we're still not driving traffic, and that's okay for now, because we have made this declaration that we are going to come back and do something with it later on. So what I like to do is add when I get more time. Something like that. So there's a reason why you're not including links right now. And then go ahead, post the comment, and then give it 10, 20 minutes, whatever. Come back and then do this. You can edit your post. Come back, edit it, and then add this line. This is really important. Edit. This is where you put in your link. Now notice something really important here. When I paste in this link, I am not linking to a landing page. I'm not linking to a home page. I'm linking to a piece of content. I'm linking to an article where people can get more of this, where they can follow up, they can judge for themselves how reliable or trustworthy this information is. Okay, tip number 11. What I want you to do is head over to this website, redditenhancementsuite.com. This is going to give you a browser extension that is going to help you with promoting yourself on Reddit. Let me show you how to use it. When you install it, you will now have this little cog icon. Click on that, and now you have a couple of options. So you can access the RES settings console, or you can go to your dashboard. Go to your dashboard, and let's get set up. Okay, it looks pretty bare here, but what we're going to do is add some widgets. So, keeping track of everything that happens in your niche on Reddit is a daunting task, and I know you don't want to be searching through subreddits for keywords every single day, trying to find opportunities for you to demonstrate value and grow an audience. So what I want you to do here is we can add a subreddit widget. Click on that, and now you can add, for example, let's say the keto subreddit widget. If we click add that, Now, every time you go to your dashboard, you're going to get what's the latest content of what is happening on that subreddit. So you can go new, rising, hot, controversial, top. You can add as many of these subreddit widgets as you like. You can also increase the number of rows on here by clicking the plus row icon. So there we get more content from these subreddits. But something that is really powerful is the search widget. If you click on that, now you can add in search terms. So you could add in something like keto, or maybe keto diet, or whatever is relevant to your niche. And then we click add. And now every time these keywords are mentioned on Reddit, you're going to get access to that data. So we want to click plus row here, increase the number of rows so we get more content. And now you can decide how this information is structured. So we can go top or we can go new. I'm going to encourage you to keep it on new. So there we can see that 18 minutes ago, that piece of content was posted, 40 minutes ago, 49 minutes ago. And it's going to allow you to dive in and help people when they need it the most. Okay, so the next tip is to create your own subreddit. Let me show you how to do that. If we go back to the home page, scroll down to home, we can create post or we can create a community. So this is going to allow you to create your own subreddit dedicated to your niche. Do not use it for promotion, not all the time. So don't spam. Of course, you want to weave in some of your own links and stuff in there, but make it about the community. Make it about the people who need your help. Focus on them instead of trying to drive traffic. And as a side effect of helping those people, you will, of course, drive traffic too. And the great thing about having your own subreddit is it gives you more opportunity to promote it on similar subreddits. So there's a bit of leeway here. So if you reference things on your subreddit, on other relevant subreddits, mods are going to kind of let that slide. That's usually fine, as long as you don't do it too much. So a general rule of Reddit is for every 10 pieces of high value content that you contribute, you can kind of get away with a little bit of self-promotion for every 10 per subreddit. But listen, the really important thing is that you have to be consistent with this stuff, because when you are consistent, you can achieve amazing results. I mean, take a look at what Matt has achieved. He's one of my students, and he has used my secret traffic methods to build a business worth over $2 million. And I want to show you how he did it for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic and grab that free 4-day course. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you found it useful, and I will see you very soon. Take care.